Hi, it's Mike from the Cyber Guys. Glad to be with you for another 3-minute tech talk. This time, I want to answer the question, what are all these cloud service models? When we hear the term software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, they just keep making up new things as a service and say it's in the cloud. It's a new service that you can get where you're getting some benefit in some way. Well, essentially, when we look at how we use modern computer information systems, we can think of it in stacks of services, layers of functionality. And when we look at our information systems in terms of layers, we can divide those layers between the responsibilities of a service provider and a user, even if the user is a company or another service provider of its own. This is one of my favorite diagrams for simply showing how we can look at the information systems that we have in terms of stacks of activity and distribute the line between those activities between a cloud service provider and a cloud service user. If you're doing everything, then you're responsible for everything from applications down to the physical systems of networking. So from the beginning, if you own your data center, if you do your own storage and servers, well, all of that is on your premises. All of that is your responsibility. You're not really in the cloud unless you own your own cloud. But if we start offloading some of those services to a service provider, then we're in the cloud. The most basic would be infrastructure as a service, where the facility, the networking, the storage, the servers, and even the ability to virtualize your environment so it's more flexible and usable in a geographically distributed way or a internet-based way. The virtualization also could be handled through the infrastructure as a service provider or IaaS provider. But everything else, what's running on that environment is still yours. In platform as a service, they simply take more of the pie. They not only give you the environment, the equipment, but even the basic software that's running on that equipment, the operating systems, middleware, your runtime environments for processing your application servers, maybe even the interpreters that run the software. But you still actually are responsible for the actual software and the data and everything on that. Well, that's platform as a service. You use their platform, you do the rest. With software as a service, you're just a user. You have no role in the environment at all. You use the application. They provide everything about it. Your ability to configure it and everything else is greatly limited. As you can see, the more you control, the more you have to manage. The more they control, the more you have to rely on the limited capability. Now, this is not as rigid as it looks here. You could slice this up any number of ways, and some companies do. There's a company called ServiceNow that's somewhere that's halfway in between platform as a service and software as a service. So it's not as rigid as this. But this gives you a basic idea of dividing the work between what is done by the user of the service and what is handled by the provider of the service. Well, this has been another 3-minute tech talk. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.